everyone, it's Wednesday, and I want to jump in here this afternoon and give you a cool little workout that you can start doing right now to get a little bit of mobility back into your system, okay? Now, if you haven't heard of the ELDOA-based system, it is a very fast and very effective clinical way to create some space into your system. It's actually a form of French osteopathic therapy. Okay, so it's a lot of movements, a lot of contraction, a lot of pulling apart, and it's very effective when you take a look at it. So I'm going to give you a little bit of a rundown on what we're going to be doing, okay, and then we're going to take you through a quick little workout, something that's not going to be too strenuous, something that's not too difficult, something that is achievable for all people. So if you've never done this before, don't worry if you can't do it. I'm going to try and build up some of the intensity as we move along. It's not something that's entirely difficult or impossible for a lot of people to do, but if you do have questions before you start doing it, you can talk to your doctor and say, is this sort of exercise safe and effective for you? Now, a lot of people equate it to a little bit like Pilates. Some people call it a little bit like yoga, and it's a little bit of both because in the big scheme of things, it all comes from the same place. It all comes around movement and creating better mobility for your joint system and improving your overall health and well-being. Okay, so what we're actually trying to do, if you were to visualize this as a joint that doesn't want to move, we're trying to use the muscles on either side to pull it apart and create some space. Why is this important? Because if you're somebody who is struggling with arthritis or compression or discompression, that's exactly what your problem is. Things are getting too tight, too crushed in, and we need to open up the joint system, get some of that hyaluronic acid that you're going to be finding in the liquid biocell into those joints to add for lubrication and rehydrate the joint system. Okay? Now, don't mind me. I've still got a little bit of this cough from the holiday season, but let's get moving and have a little bit of fun while we're doing it, okay? If you have any questions or any concerns, I'm not going to be answering them in the live feed, so feel free to post them and I'll try to answer them later. Or you can follow me on Facebook and send a message if you want to learn more information about what this really is. Now, for this exercise, we're only going to be using essentially a yoga mat. We don't need any tools. We don't need any blocks. If you feel that's necessary for doing it, by all means, use some of the things that are going to support you. You can use a towel under your knees if you find the ground is too hard. But this form of exercise is really about using your own body and your own muscles to create the change that we really want. So we're going to make it nice and short and sweet, give you a little bit of a taste. And if you want more, check out my profile and I'll share some more cool tips with you. Okay, so first, let's get you moving first of all, okay? So nice and easy, just going to keep you walking in place, okay? Just nice and easy. Just want to get the heart rate up, get some circulation back in your system, so we're going to swing your arms nice and easy, okay? Keep your knees up high, a little bit higher if you can, okay? Now the point of getting the knees moving is we want to get some lubrication into the joint system. With the arms, we want to get some movement throughout your shoulder capsule as well. And this walking opens up your joints, gets the spinal system moving, which is the biggest problem that people deal with whenever they're having any arthritic concerns, okay? Nice and easy. Now, you're going to take your hands out in front of you, open the fingers, nice and wide, okay? So from here, we're just gonna bring them back and out. Every time you do it, spread the fingers nice and wide. This is opening up the fascial chains, keeps some better mobility throughout the system, okay? Right now, you should be going, whoo, this is a little bit of a quick work, okay? Swing the arms again, nice and easy. This just helps open up all the fascia. This is much better than doing just a general stretch, okay? Mobility is the key when it comes to anything involving your overall health. Good, nice and easy, very simple. Even I need a few breaths with that one. Okay, good. So now let's warm up the feet a little bit here. What I want you to do, feet flat on the ground, nice and comfortable. Now what I want you to do on here is lift your big toes up, okay? Hold it there. How does that feel? Okay, it's tough, okay? Make sure your feet are flat on the ground so you're not flipping up onto your edges. Keep them right on the ground. Just lift the toes up. Good. This one's simple for most people. Okay? Relax. Now from here, keep your big toes down and lift your other toes up. Okay? Keep the arches pressed down. Keep your feet firmly planted. Just lift the other 4 toes. Good. It's easy. We're trying to wake up the feet. Get some better movement here. Okay? Good. Relax. Now lift your toes up again. The big toes only. Can you see my toes there? Good. Big toes up nice and high. Good. Hold them there. Good. Relax. Now we're going to lift your other 4 toes. Drive the big toes down. Good. Hold it there. Good. Nice and easy. Okay. Now we're going to alternate it. Switch it up a little bit. The left foot, I want you to lift your big toe. Right foot, lift the other 4 toes. Okay. You want to wake up those feet, get those muscles firing, okay? Wake up some of the proprioception, some of the awareness. Good. Okay. Relax and swap. Other forward toes up, big toe up on the other foot. Good. Nice and easy. Simple. Perfect. Just get some movement here. Get the feet moving again. Free things up. Okay, good. Now we're just going to move into some very, very simple things here. Okay. Doesn't have to be difficult. Hips out to the side. Wake up the hips. Wake up the hips a little bit. Slow it down a little bit. Okay. You might have some creaking. Might have some grinding in here. Okay. You might really feel the pull in those hip flexors. If you know your anatomy, you know that these suckers get shortened up pretty quick. We want to get some movement before we start opening them up. Good. And just walk. Easy. Good stuff. And just relax. Relax. Might be breaking a little bit of sweat because this stuff isn't the easiest thing to do because it's very unusual. It's very different. Okay. Let's start off with some very simple things. This is called a pelvic tilt. Okay. Once you put one hand on your lower abdomen, the other one right on the sacrum at the low back here, and we're just going to do pelvic tilt forward and driving it forward. So we want to tip your pelvis forward and then driving it up, doing a little bit of a pelvic thrust. Okay. Coming down like this, you're going to fire your back a little bit to cause that engagement. Thrusting it forward, firing the glutes. Okay. The downside is you might tone up your butt. So that's kind of whether you want it or not, it's up to you. Okay. We're going to go forward. We're going to go back. Good. Just do a few more. Keep breathing. Good. Nice and easy. And relax. Perfect. Now, this pelvic tilt is an important part of this whole exercise routine. So we want to do a little bit of a pelvic tilt, thrusting the hips forward, and come back again. Now I want you to find the spot that's a little bit more in the middle. So a little bit of a forward thrust of your pelvis, okay? A little bit of a posterior tilt. We're going to hold it there, nice and easy. Tighten up the core when you sit nice and tall, okay? Standing there nice and easy, okay? I want you now to tuck your chin back. So when I say tuck your chin, don't bring it down. I want you to draw it back a little bit, but keep the eyes level, straight on the horizon all the time, okay? Nice and easy. Tuck your chin, pelvic tilt, hold that position there. Good. Now I want you to bring your arms up, okay? Nice and easy. Push them forward, spread the fingers. Turn your hands all the way out. This is to engage the fascial chains in the body. Reach up to the ceiling. Keep them close to your ears, so not out to the side. We want them straight forward, or straight up, close to your ears, hands pushing up. Keep your chin tucked, pelvic tilt. Hold for a few more seconds. Take deep breaths in, and breathe out. Reach a little higher, breathe in, and breathe out. As you breathe in, reach a little higher. Good. And then bring the arms back down. Good. Straighten them up again, okay? You might feel a little bit of numbness, a little bit tingling, and that shows how much tension we actually have throughout our whole system, okay? Now from here, don't mind my kids. They're pounding around upstairs on the floor. Hands out to the front again. Spread the fingers wide. Drive them forward. Tuck your chin, pelvic tilt. This time, I want you to come directly out to the side, okay? Gonna come right out to the side. Spread your fingers up to the ceiling. Driving them forward, okay? Give you a little bit of a view here. Keep your pelvic tilt tucked. Push your hands away from the body as hard as you can. Drive them away, okay? So this isn't a pulling it back. So we don't want to pull back. We want straight out to the side. And this is to open up the entire system of the body. Throughout the day, everything shortens. And when things shorten, they come to the center line. We want to pull them and drive them out. Good. Hold. A few more deep breaths. Be sure to breathe. The breathing is important because this is what's causing the circulation to go throughout the body. Good. Relax. Bring your hands forward. Relax. Good. Might be a little tingly in the hands. That's a good thing. This is what we want. Okay. Next one, just to warm up the hands a little bit. I'm going to do one more quick, easy one. Okay. Drive your hands all the way out. Rotate them out. Keep the fingers wide. One hand down to the side. One hand straight up. We're going to push and a little bit of a bend. Push his hand up high as you can. Drive this one down towards the floor. Take some deep breaths in. Breathe in and breathe out. As you breathe in, reach a little bit higher. And breathe out. Good. Hands back to the front. We're going to swap. Other side. One up to the ceiling, close to your ear. One hand down. Reach and drive. Okay. Pushing this hand down. Pushing this hand up. This is to open up the lateral sides of the fascia. Good. This is all the stuff that gets really compressed and locked up throughout the day. Good. Bring your hands up again. unlock them, and relax. Perfect. Simple, very simple. And we're gonna move over to the ground. I'm gonna show a few basic ones that we can do to free up when you get that tension in the back there. Actually, we're gonna move to the hips first, even better, because one of the biggest problems people have with their mobility is their hips. So for this, good. Come down. I want you to put all of your weight on the one leg here. So let's do it onto your left leg because I want you to mirror what I'm doing, okay? I want you to stay nice and so focused, so not leaning out to the side, not leaning over like this, directly in the center line. The other leg, I want it to be 90 degrees out here, okay? Just a little bit in front of your knee, okay? Nice and simple. I want you to introduce a little bit of a pelvic tilt, a little bit of a tuck of your chin. Very simple. Now this is to activate and free up some of the inner deep hip muscles. If you have a problem with your knees, if you're having problems with your low back, if you're having sciatic nerve pain or hip degeneration, these are the essential ones you should be doing, and I would argue everyone should be doing these entirely, okay, to free up the joints. From here, we're going to do a little bit of a lateral bending of your hips, okay? So I want you to take your right hip and push it down to the ground, again, because you're mirroring me, and then drive it up again to the ceiling. So we're taking the sitting bone here and pushing it down to the ground and up, okay? Try and keep your torso as straight as you can. Drive it down and up. Drive it down and up. One more time and up. You might find a lot of tension here because this is opening up some of the hip capsule of the joint. Okay, very simple, but very difficult in the same time. Okay, from here, if you remember the pelvic tilts, one hand on your abdomen, one on your low back. I want you to do pelvic tilt forward and back, forward and back. Okay, try and keep your chin tucked, head up to the ceiling, and just do the pelvic tilt. You'll feel a lot of tension in the front of the leg as well as into the hip because it's a very disorganized area when it comes to the overall health of the joint capsule. Okay, good. And then relax. Now this is where it gets a little bit trickier. One hand on the outside of your knee, one on your hip. I want you to just glide forward and glide it back. This should be the easiest one, but it's an important one to teach you how to get some good movement of your hips. Okay, very simple. Good. Come back to center. Good. Now for here, I want you to put your one hand on the outside of your knee and push into that hand. Hold that pressure even as we take the hand away and put the hand at the front of the knee. Okay, good. Now from here, I want you to push your knee into this one hand here, so driving it forward, but I want you to push your hip into this hand and pushing it back into your hip here. Good. Just like that. So what we're doing is we're creating that space in the joint capsule. The hip is pulling this way, the knee's pulling away from here. Good. Holding that pressure, keep pushing it out into the side here. Good. Now we're gonna make it difficult. On your supporting leg, okay, one hand up, rotate it all the way out, drive it up beside your ear and push up, reach the ceiling. Good. The other hand, come up to shoulder height, turn your fingers down, spread your fingers wide, pushing it forward. But don't forget the emphasis of pushing your hip away. The hands here are to lock up the upper body, so it's taking cheating out of the system. Take a few deep breaths in. Hold it. We're just going to hold it for a couple more seconds. Take a deep breath in. Keep driving your hip away. Keep focusing on driving the hip away from your pelvis. Keep pushing your hip back to separate and create that space in the joint. Good. Relax. Bring your hands down. Good. We're going to swap over to the other side. Okay. Same thing, just reverse. This leg out in front. 90 degrees again, just in front of the other knee. Good, simple. We're going to do the lateral side bending of your pelvis again at this point in time. Okay, so drop the hip down and bring it back up. Taking your sitting bone, driving it to the ground, and then driving it up to the ceiling. Good. Keep your torso as upright as you can. Keep the chin tucked. Drive back and forth. Very simple. Good. And relax. One hand on your stomach, one on the low back. We're going to move back into the pelvic tilts again. Okay. These exercises are incredible for freeing up any arthritic-based conditions in your hip because it challenges all the fascia, all the ligaments, and really gets things moving. So if you have a client or a customer or a friend who is saying that it's bone on bone, they need to do this because if it's bone on bone, they need the movement and they need the lubrication. And they're going to get that by doing these exercises. Good. Simple. Okay. From here, one hand on the outside, one on the hip. Again, nice and simple, driving forward, driving back. Everything in the ELDOA is based on a few simple things, the progression and regression. We gently progress to what you're capable of doing. If you can't do things, we regress it down to what's more capable of doing. Everything's based around what you can do as a person. Good. One hand on the outside of the knee, push into it nice and firm. Good. Hold that pressure even as we take the hand away. Okay. One hand on the outside of your knee, the other one just on your hip. I want you to drive that knee into this hand here and drive the hip into this hand here. Good. Hold that pressure there. Good. Keep that separation. Keep the pressure upright. So don't slouch, don't fall forward. Okay. Focus on feeling that pull deep inside the hip joint. Good. Now, if you want to take it one step further to really lock up the rest of the extremities, one hand up. On the base supporting leg, turn the hand out. Drive it up to the ceiling. Good. Pushing up. Other hand straight up in front of you, shoulder height. Turn the wrist all the way out. Push it forward. Keep the knee driving out and away from the body. Keep the hip pulling away to create that space. Tuck your chin, press your head up to the ceiling, and start breathing deep breaths. Breathing is essential. It's what helps circulate the fluids throughout the body. Good. As a yoga instructor would say, they would say inner smile because it's painful. We get it, but it's still supposed to be enjoyable. Good. Couple deep breaths. Keep the driving pressure. Good. Bring the hands back down and relax. Good. That concludes movement on the hips. Okay. Going to move into one more very specific area, right into the mid back. So if you're having that burning, that irritation, just where I believe your bra strap would be, right into that area, we're going to move into opening that area up. Okay. So this time, I'm going to get you to sit right on your bum, legs out in front of you, knees bent. Okay. Now, if you can't hold yourself, you can put your hands here too. We want to make sure the feet are on the floor. Okay. If it's painful, you can try and do something to help mitigate some of that, whether it's putting a pillow underneath, which you might need to do if you have a lot of hip problems, or you might just need to gradually work into it, bring your knees closer or further out. But the big thing is trying to sit of your own weight. So you're going to feel a lot more of abdominal engagement here. Okay? So we're going to hold this position here, holding onto your wrists, nice and easy. Okay, good. I want you just round your back down and bring it up again. We're just getting a little bit of gentle gliding mobility right into your spine. Okay? Just rocking forward, rocking back on your sitting bone and on your tailbone. Okay? If it's painful, don't do this, obviously. Do what you can. Okay? Don't ever follow the no pain, no gain. Don't listen to it. We don't want to have pain. We want to have a little bit of burning discomfort, but we don't want overall pain. Okay? From here, we're going to sit nice and tall here. Okay? Move your feet to wherever is comfortable. Might need to be a little further out. I like having them kind of in line with the rest of the body. We're going to hold your hands here. Good. Now from here, just focus on deep breathing. Keep your spine as straight as you can, nice and comfortably. Tuck your chin, drive your head up to the ceiling. Good. Now let's make it a little bit harder. I want you to take your right arm, reach up about 45 degrees into the corner of the room. Hold that pressure there. Good. Take a couple deep breaths. Easy. And then bring it back down. We're going to do the other hand. Reaching up. Drive your hand and shoulder forward. Driving it up to the corner of the room. Good. Back down again. Simple. Now from here, we're going to use both hands. Okay, so it's a little bit more challenging. Drive your hands up to the ceiling. Both of them 45 degrees away up into the corner. Keep your feet on the ground. Keep your chin tucked. Keep your head up to the ceiling. You should really feel that in your hips. You should also feel it in your abdomen because your body's holding it together. We're going to hold for a couple more seconds. Take a deep breath in and breathe out and bring your hands back down. Good. Perfect. Straighten out the legs, walk them around because now we're going to do something that's a little bit more challenging. This one is to create space in the mid-back. So we're going to use the arms to actually create a pull and use your legs to stabilize everything down. So it's to create some space right in the mid-back. Okay? So we're going to put our feet directly on the ground again. Now this is where the toe exercises came into play. So I want you to push your arches, the bottom of your feet down to the ground, but also lift your big toes up to the ceiling. Good. Okay? Now I want you to just bring your knees in a little bit, squeeze them together. Don't put them together, just squeeze a little bit together. Good. Nice and easy. Holding on here nice and tall. Tuck your chin, drive your head up to the ceiling. Sit nice and tall. Try to straighten the back as much as you can. Okay? From here, now this gets to be the fun part. We're going to hold this position right here. Keep that chin tucked. Good. I want you to take your hands behind you. Keep your toes up. Keep your knees together engaged. And use your arms to help support your spine to make it a little bit straighter. Good. Keep the chin tucked. Head up to the ceiling and focus on a couple deep breaths. Nice and easy. Perfect. Good. Relax your arms. Bring them up onto your elbows again. Now this is a moment of truth here. Okay. Really engage your toes lifting up. Push your arches down. Bring your knees in a little bit. Tuck your chin. Drive your head up to the ceiling. Hands up. Turn them all the way out. And then drive them up to the ceiling, close to your ears. Okay. Keep the wrist cocked. Okay. This will be difficult. Bear with me. Do what you can. Okay. Keep the chin tucked. Pushing your hands up to the ceiling. Take a couple deep breaths in and just hold, hold, hold. Feel that elongation. Two of the big things that are causing degeneration of the spine is gravity and tight muscles. Right now we're trying to get both of them freed up. A couple more deep breaths in. And bring the arms back down. Hold onto your knees. Good. Relax your knees. Come to a nice, easy, seated position. Okay? Walk it out a little bit because that's a tricky one. It's very challenging. It's a very weak area and we're trying to create some strength and some space back into it. So it's a good one to work on. Okay. Now, I'm going to finish it off with one more exercise. I'm just going to move this a little bit so I can get you a little bit closer to the wall here. Okay. So bear with me for a second there, guys. Okay. Good. On this one, you're going to need a wall. Okay. You need something to get your feet up on. So what we're going to do is right over here. Now, if you don't have that flexibility, that's okay. You're going to work into it nice and easy. You're going to get your hips nice and close to the wall. And from here, I want you to roll yourself down and get your feet up right against the wall. Nice and easy. You don't have to be straight, but I want you to get your hips as close as you can to the wall. Okay? If you can't straighten your knees out yet, that's completely fine. Okay? Now as it gets a little bit easier and things start loosening up, you can start straightening your legs out. Good. Nice and easy. This is the finisher for all the exercises. Reintegrates the entire system all the way through. Okay? Keep your hips on the ground, so I want you to push your pelvis and your sacrum down into the ground so it's not hovering up in the air like this. Nice and flat. Good. When you can, keep your knees nice and straight. Just like this. Now from here, tuck your chin, as always. Elongate your head so you're pushing it away from the wall. Okay. From here, pull the toes down. Really feel that into the calves. Turn your knees in just a little bit. And I want you to push your heels up to the ceiling. Okay. There's a lot of steps in this. We'll just walk through it nice and easy. Now we're going to put your hands up to the ceiling, push them forward. Turn your hands out all the way. And then reach your hands back over your head, driving your arms away from the wall. Good. Now take deep breaths, keep your chin tucked, keep your eyes at your knees. Okay. So from here, we have our legs driving up to the ceiling, our hands pushing away from the wall. This is like a giant stretch of the whole spinal system. Takes away all that compression you get throughout the day. A couple more deep breaths. Good. And then bring your arms back up. Relax them down. Unlock your knees one at a time. And you're done. Perfect. Nice, simple, and easy. You can stay here as long as you want. When you're done, you roll your knees over to the side and help yourself up from there. Okay. That's a very quick example of what some of the ELDOAs are going to be doing. They're very powerful, they're very effective, and they're very quick. A lot of these exercises you can get optimal relief in about 1 minute. And for myself, when I was dealing with herniated discs, I had a L5-S1 herniated disc down my low back, as well as another one up in L3, L4. I lost all the muscular strength in my leg, lost all the muscle mass, lost all the control, everything. And there were 3 things that I used to regain full control of my body. The first one was the ELDOAs. Okay. Second one was osteopathic treatment, so getting some good care for the body. And the third one was actually the liquid biocell, because for me, if that's not getting the lubrication to your joint system, you're going to have a hard time working towards your recovery. So if you have any questions, any concerns, or want to learn more about what this exercise system is, because I'm going to be doing some more regular routines that you can get an access for and see them for free online on YouTube, by all means, let me know. Otherwise, do this one a few times because it makes a huge difference on the overall health of the body and creating some space back into your system. other than that, it's a good calorie burn too, so it's fantastic for the drop. Okay, thanks guys. If you have questions, post them in the comments below, and I'll get to them as quick as I can. Okay, have a good day. Good luck with the challenge.